How's it going? What day is this? I said stop banging. What, bud? Yeah, but you're banging. Hi again. Hi. Hi, the first time maybe. Um, I'm still learning, relearning, remembering my computer, and it doesn't do the same things that the phone does. So, and of course, as soon as we'll just stop there. Hi. All right. The thingy is saying things. Action needed. I don't know why it's saying that. Can you see me or hear me? Let me look at my phone. Again, I feel like I thought maybe the computer would tell me who's here. It's not. Did they take that away for like the fun of it, or I don't know. I want to make sure that you guys can hear me because I do have something I kind of have been thinking about overnight. Yay, I see me. Okay, cool. So I've been thinking a lot about like my upcoming work and how it's all going to play out and listening to questions and understanding the concern. I get it. I don't get it because I don't, but I get it because I can remember. Like, I remember thinking and feeling like permanently stuck. Like, I would never make friends with my body. Like, there's no way I was ever going to enjoy it. You know, that this was just my destiny to, like, be the way that it was. You know, not to be able to wear the things I want to wear, do the things I want to do, be the person I wanted to be. Just wasn't there. And every time I would try to sell myself on that, I just couldn't buy it. Like, and I think for me, even before I learned this, it was why I was able to like commit to the whole calorie and exercise exchange. That does work. It's like math. And I don't even do math that well, but math it works, right? But there are other things that we aren't considering in this equation. And it keeps coming back to trust for me. Like, we trust ourselves for our hearts to beat. We trust that our food will be digested. We trust our lungs to breathe. You know, we trust our eyes to see for the most part. We trust our sense of smell. But when it comes to our body processing and then being what it bees, we feel like we are the one doing it. And if we aren't being the doer of it, it's just going to be like whatever it is. And on one hand, that belief can stay true. The whole entire freaking world probably has like 3 or 10 people that have that life going on. Like, it's not weird, it's not uncommon. That's why my work is harder to get out of your mental mind than it is once you can let it come into your body and you can see it for yourself, then you can see it. But just like anything else, until you're able to just give it a chance and let yourself, maybe it'll be a thing, then it just can't be. I was listening to a new teacher talking about healings, like more of the radical healings. Again, when a person is diagnosed with some sort of outcome and they don't like the result, they take a course of action, they choose and trust it, they follow it, and they get a completely different result than what was projected days or weeks or a month before. They trusted what was going to happen. They believed in what was they wanted, and it came true. And a lot of times for us, for I would say I feel like it is true a lot for women. And I know men too, but I'm not a man, so I obviously can't speak to the species specifically in this lifetime body. But I want to say like it feels like putting others ahead of us is a good thing. But it flips around so quick. And it's slow quick. Like, you still keep showing up and doing the things, but inside things are a mess. You know, you've changed your mind. It doesn't feel good anymore. Now it feels like, ugh, is this going to be forever? You know? Resentment, stuck energy, and all those sorts of things contribute to what our body looks and functions like on a daily basis. Our expectation and what we see in our mind, what we believe about ourselves, probably plays as much, if not more. Probably more. Probably more. I'm hearing more. Lots more, like a heaping tablespoon. Cup. So, and then, oh, who's in the fridge? Okay, do you need something, babe? Morning. Do you want me to get you something? I thought it was Elias up there lurking around trying to find chocolate. That's what he's been saying all morning. Yeah, I am. It's okay. I'll be a few more minutes and then I'll come find you. Or you can come down if you want. It's that standing behind me thing is a little like, yes, you know? All right. So there are things to do to create trust. You start at the beginning and say some sort of a, maybe, I'm sorry that I didn't trust you. I'm sorry that I blamed you. I'm sorry that I put things in you that I knew weren't going to be good for you, and then I got mad at you when it wasn't good for you. I'm sorry that you did exactly what I expected, and then I blamed you. How do we make up? How do we start over? Show me what you want me to do. Another thing about being in the group work, I want to talk about why I'm having all of this energy around me. It's going to work like we talk as a group. Hopefully, as many of us are going to be there as possible. I'm keeping it small because I like to do things intuitively led, everything that I do. So as we're coming together, there will be times, and certain times my energy wants to deliver things in different ways. So we will have a schedule, and then things will be coming as they come, especially because this is the first workshop of its kind. I'm not going to hold back because I said Tuesday at 2. I'll be there Tuesday at 2, but I'm probably going to be there Monday at 9 as well. I'm going to get out everything that I need to get out in the lesson. And then you and I one-on-one, we talk. We go over what you know to be true about your relationship with movements, food, diets, if you will. And then we talk about healing rituals, self-healing rituals, affirmations. We talk about how to mend that relationship between you and you. And then we work on that. And then we do that. And then we check in with each other. And this is pretty intense. This isn't like something that you sign up for and you forgot. Like, this is the kind of thing where we're going to be working together. Not just every week, but dang close to daily. probably every 2 or every other day, depending on your comfort. But my comfort is in the beginning, almost every day. Some sort of a check in. Are you with me? Are you with you? Because if you can't get the momentum going, it doesn't go. You know, like as a mom trying to get all the kids dressed to go out the door, it takes longer to do that than it does to do the whole entire task. But if you don't get all the kids ready to go out the door, you can't go. No, you don't have to count calories. But you have to soften what you've been believing. You can't just, if you in your mind, if you're a person that follows a really strict diet, and I have done them all. So let's pretend we're on Atkins or one of those 1200 calorie caps. And I can have what, like 7 net carbs a day or 120, 1,000 and shit, I can't count, 1,200 calories a day. You know, and I'm hungry. It's only 5 o'clock. I'm at my max. That's a freaking pickle. And that makes no sense. Your body's with you every day. Like if your kid came to you hungry, okay, I can't even say that because I do know some folks have different things going there too. Me? If my kid comes and tells me they're hungry at 5 o'clock and dinner's not till 7, I'm going to offer the kid cheese. I'm not going to give them junk food, no. But I'm not going to say no. I'm going to do the best that I can from where I am. Because I trust myself as a mother. I trust he picked me for a reason. My trust in that relationship is stable. You have to have trust. One of the first ways of growing trust is admitting that you don't have trust. Admitting that you were afraid to trust. Sometimes writing that down. You know, writing down you felt betrayed. I know you guys by now have seen me practice and sharing tapping. We're all going to work on a little bit of that because it's one of my easiest ways to be here and you're there and we can feel into one of these energy shares together. And we'll go through and, you know, that's one of the first ones as far as self-healing practices we'll do. And then on the one-on-one calls, we're going to go through the different diets and foods, like I was saying. And I'm going to help you build a loose plan. Like, it's not even really a plan. It's going to be giving yourself permission to trust yourself. But it's going to feel like a plan. For the planner in you, we're going to call it a plan. Until about a month and a half in when you realize, oh, this isn't a plan. The plan was just not the plan. Yeah. But first we're going to call it a plan. Because it doesn't feel safe to be a planner and stop planning. It feels reckless. And if it feels reckless, that doesn't feel trusting. If we're too focused on holding on to the cart, we can't let go and enjoy the ride. It takes a little bit, there's a couple of things to like clean up. Energetically, and then time. The old shit has to run out. Like in the beginning, every time, this is so funny. And it's funny because it's finally not true anymore. In the beginning of this, I would try to explain, I'm like, guys, something's going on. And I know it sounded crazier then than it does now because back then I didn't even know what was happening. I'm like, I think something's happening here, guys. I think I'm learning something here. You're doing yoga. No, guys, but I burn more calories walking to the yoga studio than I do in yoga. No. Everybody just one track mind. Well, that's the way. But it's not. Because I'm here. Because we are going at it directly, we'll play a few different tricks with ourselves to distract ourselves along the way. Games have to happen. Like, the point of all of this is joy. To feel joy in your body, to feel joy in your experience, to feel joy in your movement, joy in your self-expression, joy in your camera, joy in your mirrors, joy on your social media selfies, and so you can stop making fucking avatars of yourself and be you. Sorry. Um, we'll do ego nourishment spaces. Yeah, I know, right? We're supposed to be killing the ego. No, we're not. We're just supposed to be putting that lady in check. Did you notice I called her not a cuss word? I think we've shifted here. I usually also don't call her her, so I guess I like her more now. Okay, come back. So we're gonna do different mindset um, processes, tricks, because not everything works for everyone. Some of us are more visual, some of us are more feeling, some of us need movement, like undulating dance and stumpy stumps. Oh my god, yesterday I had my kids at the indoor jumpy house, and my little one came over, my middle little came over, and she says, gotta get a drink, gotta stay drinky, and it just was so funny. And yeah, but so we're gonna learn different ways for you to be making this sort of a game, or just a softening, whatever it is for you, because some people do not like the idea of a game. I get it. As the person who's leading the thing, you should know that I enjoy games very much. The more that we can make everything less serious, the faster and easier the solutions and the resolutions that we seek are evolving, and they come up top, because there's nothing strangling and blocking the way. We're not gripping the cart. We're sitting back and enjoying it with our eyes open, and we can see everything. We see so much more that way, so that's just how I get down. And it is also as serious as it is silly. But no. Anyway, so we will do, we'll talk about movement ideas and strategies. That also kind of plays in the land of trickery. One of the things that was true was that I was beginning and believing that I was practicing yoga all day long. Now, I'm not going to try and go into a Joe conversation about quantum physics and explain why our brain doesn't processes a thought and a reality in the same way, because it all goes by our emotional response, because that would seem like a completely different conversation for what we're doing right now. But there's something like that going on. Our body can believe what we imagine because we can feel it. Like if we daydream about something and feel it, our body has processed that like an actual thing. Look, watch. Okay, hold on. Let me just do this a little. So I'm going to get into the body manifesting too, the shape-shifting part of this. But you can't go there until you're here. You know what I mean? That's like, you can't drive around the racetrack until you can at least drive the car and stop the car. You have to do one step at a time. But, so say you're having a session where you're in a meditation or just softening resistance. Maybe all of a sudden you're feeling triggered. Somebody invited you to food, or somebody invited you out, and now you're having anxiety because you know there's going to be food there, and you're not ready to share what you're doing with others. You don't really want to talk about it. You are tired of people knowing about your personal struggles. You're tired of it being a thing. You're tired of the clothes, all these things. It's a swirl. And then you're here. So this may not have been the best example to get us here, but here we are. We are in a swirl. Since we are in a swirl, this is a really good time to share about the tapping, which is one of the things that I usually share privately for a client when they're in an anxiety, like inducing thought pattern, thought trail, or a loop. and they're wanting to be unstuck. And usually with this, people want to be not in another space. Like you want to be sitting in the room and all of a sudden, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You know, if you start doing this in the room, well, maybe in 5 years, everybody will just do it with you and be a big supportive Hopo Ono magical experience. But in today, they might look at you like, huh? So usually I just would say, excuse yourself to the restroom. Of course, I was started as a closeted self-care person. Like, it felt selfish to be taking care of myself. It felt like you barely do anything. Why do you need to take care of yourself? That's how I talked to me. That's how I perceived others to perceive me. That's how I felt. That's a real space to be. And it doesn't feel good to be the deliverer of that thought or the receiver or the person in the experience of that. And as a person who has mostly lived with a lot of characters active at the same time, it's hard. Do I believe that most women have the same kind of makeup? Yeah. Just because you don't name all of your characters doesn't mean they're not all there. I will say that till my face falls off. And every woman that I say that to, when they are in a space where they can hear me, it helps them feel free. Do you know how many of my clients and friends have allowed themselves to consider the different speeds they hold in their body as far as our personalities and our mannerisms and how we respond, like, especially once you're a mother. You know, when you're sitting there with your baby, you are one person. When you're in your office, you're another person. And when you're with your man, you're another person. That kind of shit is happening, like, all of the time. You know, like, all of you are in there wanting to be considered all of the time. And finding a place for balance and harmony here, also here, that's where it works and helps. That's why the body manifesting isn't really as much about food and exercise as it is about what's going on in your heart and in your head. Like, yeah, there will be things to do, but the most of the doing is between you and you. And that's why the work usually throws people off, because it's like, oh, well, it doesn't seem like I'm going to be doing enough. I don't think it's going to work for me. It's probably not going to work for me. Blah, blah, blah. I have to exercise an hour a day. If I stop exercising an hour a day, I'm going to gain back 15 pounds. I can't back 15 pounds. I just worked so hard to lose that. It's Christmas is coming. I want to wear it. And if you got all that going on, you're not going to be able to hear a new thought. A new thought's going to walk up and it's going to blink. You got to slow it all down. And I feel like the easiest way to do that is dissect everything. You stay in your lane, you stay in your lane, you stay in your lane. And in your own time, I will address each of you as I am feeling most emotionally prepared. Because it's my life. I am the one in charge. All of y'all are in here too. But this Nancy is the driver. You are the driver. You get to decide. If you think it's selfish to take care of yourself, it's going to be selfish to take care of yourself. If it's weird because you've never practiced it and everybody's going to think you're being sometimey or extra, there's work around that too. Everything that I did, I hid. I had a crystal. Was it even a crystal yet? And a picture next to my computer. And every time my then husband would come home, I'd cover that shit up. I didn't even want anybody to see that I had a quasi altar. I didn't even know what the fuck it was at the time. I was embarrassed of trying to be well and trying to be healthy and looking towards something not mean and cynical and shitty and cocaine-y. Like, everything was... So it was embarrassing and it felt fake and it felt like I didn't want any... It felt like it was like walking around in your underpants. You know, when you don't do that. Like outside a Giant or something. That's how I felt when I first turned to the wellness. When people would say, oh, you're healing, I'm like, what? No. I just don't want to kill myself. Like that in my head, I was so resistant to even those words because that was just not what I did. I had to build that relationship and get there one step at a time. And because I was kind of adamant on not doing it, it took a little longer. But in this group, when we do it this way, that's another thing. That's what I was feeling earlier with the rushes. When we're able to connect, we're able to share, you and I, we will enhance each other's experience. We will be able to shift faster if we're working together. When I'm with some of my friends, like friends that I have deep trust with, especially Mary, and we're talking, we can literally feel what we're about to say to each other to the degree that I usually say it first. When you're with yourself in your body and you're letting yourself trust yourself, you don't have to even ask. You'll start knowing, oh, I'm looking at that. That's probably what I'm going to eat today. It's a nice day. I'm probably going to go for a walk later. There's your exercise and meals for the day. That's all it needs to be. Oh, I've been seeing this on the TV, and then it popped up on my news feed, and I got a little, I think I'm going to grab some of that at the store. That's all the meal plan needs to be. You get to the store, comes when you see something else. Oh, grab that too. It's not more than that. It doesn't need to be like inspecting everything, writing down and putting it in databases. And I used to do the MyFitnessPal and I did the Fitbit. I get it. Like I said, I know the calorie counting exercise exchange works. But as soon as you stop doing that math, okay, I guess it didn't necessarily go back for me, but because I had a different belief system in place. However, most of the diets will do that once you stop doing the diet. Oh, the work undoes. That's why it's not supposed to be work. It's supposed to be how you live. If you had to get up every day and do like 15 jumping jacks so the heart would keep beating, we'd be a lot of dead suckers. I ain't doing no jumping jacks. We make up the shit. We make it all up. And then we get stuck. So you gotta undo it. I mean, you don't have to. You can keep doing what you're doing. You're free to do that. We are free to do whatever we want. But there's another way. Just saying. So I like to, in the morning and often through the day, especially if I'm doing something different and I'm feeling a little suspicious. Suspicious is a thing for me. Like, because I'm so curious, I am quite suspicious. But I'm also like intrigued all the time. So I'm just constantly like, what's this gonna do? And then I see what happens. And I trust my body. That's my favorite. I trust my body. I can trust my body. We'll do all that. It will become true. And then it's really cool. I hope you have a great rest of your day, guys.